Welcome back to the Personal Finance course. I'm Tom Mihawk, and this is the chapter on retirement. Now, when I used to teach this chapter, say when I first started teaching personal finance 10 years ago, I used to say, what's retirement? People would say, well, it's golfing, it's playing shuffleboard, it's not working. Now, I'm exaggerating a little, but not a lot. Over time, people have changed their definition of retirement. More people respond by saying, well, it's a new time in your life. It's a chance to do some new things. In fact, let's take a look at this slide. What does retirement mean today? In 1950, a chronologically aged 65 person, right, is like in 2020, today, a biologically aged 51-year-old. This is where the statement, 51, 50 is the new 65, or 65 is the new 50. That's what I meant, right? Look on the right. This picture shows Wilford Brimley. He's in the movie Cocoon. He was 50 years old. Look at Tom Cruise on the right. Tom Cruise is 56 in the latest Mission Impossible movie. Now, maybe Cruise colors his hair. Maybe Brimley looks younger when he's not acting in a role in the movie Cocoon. But the point is, and you can look at photos of people from the 20s and the 40s, and you'll see people that are 40, 50 years old. They look like they're much older than people today. People are living longer, they're staying active longer, and that is going to influence what we're going to talk about in this chapter. Some retirement misconceptions. I don't need as much income to live on after I retire. When I first started doing financial advisory work 16 years ago, the rule of thumb seemed to be about 25% less income required. Now, that was only a rule of thumb. Everyone's different, but the point is that's the way people looked at it. Today, they don't look at it that way. They think, if I need to live on $150,000 or $100,000 while I'm working, I'm going to need a little bit more than that after, because I'm going to be doing more things potentially. Another misconception, retirement, being at the end of my life, won't last that long. Well, a 50-year-old may live another, a median 50-year-old may live another 32 years, 60-year-old another 24 years. A married couple may live another 30 years. One person in a 60-year-old couple may live until their 90s. That's the median. Half are going to live even a little bit longer. So, more misconceptions. Social Security and my defined benefit pension plan will provide all the income I need. No, plan to provide for more than that if you can. I'm not going to work at all and just play golf all day. Maybe some people might do that. Or how about playing golf and doing a few other things too? Maybe even working sometime flexibly, making more money, maybe. All my healthcare expenses will be covered by Medicare. No, a lot will, and we'll see later in a later slide in this chapter that Medicare is a popular choice. It seems to work well for a lot of people, but it has some gaps. Another misconception, I'll start saving for retirement later in life. Why waste my money when I'm young? We're going to find that saving early, a lot, for higher rates of return, and frequently is the best way to prepare for retirement. Consider this for retirement. What about work possibilities where you work past 65? Look at the people in government today. Many of them are in their 70s. As I'm recording this, we're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. Dr. Fauci, I believe, is 79 years old. He's worked in disease control. I'm not sure what his specialization is, but I think it's disease control for over 30 some years, age 79. How about some people don't want to work past 65. Some people want to stop. How about working part-time or consulting or accepting some kind of flexible compensation when before you needed a regular income? How about starting a business or a side hustle or working in a new field? Here's the line I always tell my students and people who ask me what I want to be able to do is work less and make more. That's what I'd like to be able to do. How about teach? A lot of people would like to teach. Give back. You're an expert in your field. Spend time with people who want to learn about what you know. How about move to a geographic location for activities you love doing so you can do them more often, like maybe fishing or golfing or hiking or maybe for education. We'll see that as a later one. Move to be nearer to grandchildren or children so you can see them more. Return for a different or advanced education. If you were an undergrad engineer, maybe you always wanted to learn about psychology, or if you were an undergrad business student, maybe you always wanted to study the arts, or maybe you want to go back and get a graduate degree. Studying is a very stimulating thing to do. Education is very stimulating. So that's an option as well for people. Travel. I had a student in a class last year say to me, what they want to do in retirement is travel. And I said, well, make sure you start traveling now. Don't just wait until you're retired. Travel now. And they agreed, but retirement might be a very good time to travel more often. Volunteer during your work life and when you're raising children and busy in a marriage, keeping your home maintained and repaired. You may not have time for this, but volunteering is a great thing to be able to do when you're retired too. Remain socially active. It's very important to stay connected. Men are not always so good at this. And so I always recommend to people that I meet, men in particular, stay connected, do things so that you're involved. Women seem to do that naturally, many. And it's important to maybe make sure to stay connected. Hit the gym, compete in athletics, set and achieve fitness goals. Don't give up just because you're retiring. Do more. Stay active longer. Stay flexible. Stay fit. Muscle provides a layer of protection for your body. Those kinds of activities seem to give your mind more fitness as well. Smart retirement planning. Great summary for you. Number one, live healthy now. Be healthy and live longer later. Start saving early, often. Manage your accumulated savings well and your investments. Previous chapters on stocks, bonds, investing fundamentals, mutual funds have lots of guidance about that. See those chapters to learn more about how to manage your accumulated savings and your investments well. Review your personal situation. Look at your assets, your liabilities, your debt situation. Do you have debts that need to be paid off? Will you keep them? And in one day when you pass, allow them to be netted against your assets? Do you have bequest motives for children, for example? Charitable intentions to your alma mater, your church, a club, a sports team, and the arts, those kinds of things. And are there needs to be planned for your children? Maybe you have special needs children or a child who needs more financial help than others do in your family. Be smart about taxes. Take advantage of the fact that those who know more about taxes and receive advice and seek advice about taxes can pay less taxes legally. Remember that taxes can be avoided but not evaded, and good planning will help you do that. Do a risk assessment. We're going to talk about that, including insurances and longevity risk, inflation, those kinds of things. Income planning. Plan for your income needs. And housing. Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? Those sorts of things. Of the personal finance course.